to myself, but there's things that has happened that, like injury wise, that's just been wild to me. Like I don't get. Um, and I got it. Blessings to him. I stayed in touch with him as well, just to kind of see how he's getting on. He's not only has he made a full recovery, he's already had two. Like a year later, he's had two MMA fights back. He won his first one back, and I think he just lost his second one. But it was like decision. So like, but he's good. So it's good to see.
How do you switch that emotion on and off? Because I know you're a very kind person,
Mm.
and you're a very humble person. But obviously, in that ring, you've got to be, it's you or me,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be me. And when you inflict that sort of pain and that sort of damage, how do you not sort of feel guilty about it? And you just said, just had to do what I do, and with that emotion, or do you feel that emotion?
It's very difficult to be on both sides and be vicious and emotional. You have to pick a lane. It's very difficult. Otherwise, every time I land a punch, I'll be like, "Sorry,
Yeah.
are you okay?" Like, you couldn't do both at the same time. So yeah, you have to pick a lane. And I think everybody, regardless of who they are outside, everybody has a fight persona. My fight persona is MVP. MVP is a very selfish person and is going in there for the kill. Michael Page on the other side, like, very different person. Both sides have aspects of each other. It's like a um just what's the word I'm looking for? Like alter ego that is just coming out. And I always try to draw people down to people, like obviously a lot of people, especially in this country, into football. So if you watch football, I use like Wayne Rooney as an example, or even Paul Scholes. I'm a Man United supporter, so Paul Scholes is. Let me use Paul Scholes because everybody talks about how vicious this man was. Running, he's trying to take off your legs. Patrice Evra tells a story about him doing that during training. Like, you could injure me, which affects the whole team, and he doesn't care. Once he gets into this mode, he's an animal. Try to interview that guy afterwards. Like, yeah, oh yeah. He so nervous. Where is that animal gone? So, like I said, everybody has that persona held within them. Some people have, like for example, if go back to myself, MVP can spread into your everyday life. Sometimes because depending on how you grown, but some because you get so much attention and that feels more exciting. Being that guy feels more exciting than being your normal self. So you're like, okay, you spread into your everyday, and then we start to realize people are like, man, I don't like this guy, and so on and so forth. I've been fortunate to have just the people around me, the upbringing, and I definitely say martial arts is a big key for me. Just having respect, bowing to people, strangers, helping up and coming guys in the gym come up as well as progressing forward. It was always a team effort. Just all these different things that I learned through martial arts kept me grounded as a person. So MVP stays when comes out when it's necessary and not doesn't spread into them every day. Fortunately, not everybody has that. But for the most part, people have a performance self and then have the like how they are.
Wow. Thanks for explaining that to us, man. That's just like it's like a Clark Kent and
Yeah,
Superman. You know what I
literally,
mean?
it's
It's
literally
like
that.
you're just like,
Yeah,
I'm cool. I'm cool. And the next minute,
yeah, it is literally that. That's the best way to put it.
love that, man. No, just so present listening, bro. It's just amazing hearing that sort of stuff. So let's talk about the fight you had with Kevin Holland.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that fight. Actually,
yeah.
it just really made me appreciate how much of a striker you are.
Mm.
Them punches, the spinning elbows. Man, I don't know how you got that flexibility. I can barely just do this. Your elbows are already over there. You know what I mean? Um, and yeah, let's go through that fight because there was a time where he kind of I thought he got you the
Mm.
way he locked you, and then I don't know what you did, and you just got out of it. Like, and it was like, how do you? Someone's in their best position, and you've just like come out of it? Like, let's talk about that fight. What did you? How did you prepare for that fight going in?
Again, I always try to just I always see it as if I can be better than my previous self, than my opponent. I don't really care for my opponent. So, as much as I know, I'm a fan of Kevin Holland, and it was even when I was speaking. So I was speaking to it was Hunter Campbell, who's like Dana White's right hand man. He's the one running so much, man. He's an amazing guy, such a cool guy. He's the one that kind of signed me on. He's like, look, this is the partnership. You need anything, you speak to me. You know, you got any ideas, speak to me. But when he was kind of initially had our meeting about signing to UFC, he was like, how do you see your run? I was like, put me in the deep end and see if I can swim. Literally, because there's no point in me wasting time. I've been in the game long enough. I don't need to be built up. I think people are aware of, my talents if you're in that space and what I've done.
So it's not like boxing where some people say you got ring rust, you need a warm up fight once or two before you go up, or
I think everyone's different. Um, everyone's different. Some people feel the need, and I always say if you believe something, then it's true. So if as a fighter I believe ring rust is a thing, then it's true. Me as a fighter, I don't believe in ring rust.
Right.
So if I'm out for 2 years, when I come back, when you see me on the show, I've done the training that's necessary. I don't ring rust doesn't mean anything to me. So that's my belief. So that's the thing. So I literally like throw me in the deep end. And I had a feeling out of everybody because regardless, as tough as everybody thinks they are, they're not stupid. They're smart fighters, shall I say? So there would have been a lot of people when my name got mentioned, they wouldn't have put their hand up to go first, just because it's like I've seen this guy as well. He just looks tricky. Let me see how somebody else deals with him, because the question is, can he do it at top flight? Can he do it at the top level? All the fighters, they're like, I don't want to be the one to find out if he can. So, but I knew it would be somebody like Kevin Holland that would be like, I'm game. Like, let's go. Let me try and find out what's going on. And that's why I think that's why everyone loves him, respects him, because he's just about it. He doesn't care.
Yeah. Before we even get to that point, Michael, how did the UFC deal come about? Like, how did you come out of Bellator? Was your contract ending? How do you broker a new deal? Like, let's talk a little bit about business, bro.
Yeah. So, as I said, my last Bellator fight, now I'm actually free. So Bellator will give you a certain time limit for them to negotiate. And this happens for all athletes, which is why when your class is a free agent, everyone's like, well, why hasn't he now signed to somewhere else? Things can't happen immediately. So Bellator, being the organization and a smart business, I guess, they give themselves a certain amount of time, stress-free, from nobody else. So you're not coming to me saying, yeah, well, these guys offered me this. These guys, all you have to deal with is me. So again, smart. So I had to go through that phase, but I was already in the mindset of I just want to be a free agent. I don't think you guys value me the way I value myself. And what I mean is, like, financially speaking, you guys value me as an asset of the company, but your price tag to that is very different to my price tag to that. So I'm like, regardless, I'm gonna be a free agent. So, but I let them know that early. I was just like letting them know that earlier. But then it's like, cool. I'm free to just chill. I had to take my time, and everyone's asking me questions. I'm like, I'm handcuffed right now until a certain period is triggered. Once that period was triggered, then everybody came.
How did you get in touch with like Dana White?
So, like I said, the bare knuckle fight meant everyone got in touch with myself.
Okay.
Or my team.
How does that feel?
Yeah, it's nice. Like, again, it shows that I was as valued as I thought I should be valued. So then when things was happening, my coach was laughing, just like, cause this just worked out so perfectly, unintentionally, but it just worked out perfectly. Because everyone's like, yo, what's going on? Like I said, they all came in, and I've got the best manager in the world, in Audi Attar.